Multiple studies indicate that China's wealthy and middle-class populations are accelerating their outflow from the country. In the latest 2024 Global Wealth Migration Report, released this week by the British consultancy firm Henley Partners, China again tops the list for the most millionaires emigrating. The report predicts that 15,200 millionaires will leave mainland China in 2024, up from 13,500 last year and 10,800 the year before. The United States remains one of the top destinations for these Chinese millionaires. According to the China High Net Worth Individuals Brand Preference Report, released by Hurun Research Institute in March this year, nearly 40% of surveyed high net worth families are considering moving abroad. Additionally, the 2022 World Migration Report published by the United Nations Migration Agency notes that China ranks fourth globally for the number of emigrants. Besides wealthy individuals with abundant resources, many of China's middle class also find ways to vote with their feet and start new lives overseas. The wave of massive layoffs and unemployment among those aged 35 is upon us. Will the middle class truly fall into poverty overnight? Most people believe that the middle class leads a stable life, owning houses and cars and having jobs. How could there be a decline? Staying up late to tell you what you might not know is that most of the middle class rely not on their abilities but on their urban household registration and employee status. They boarded the fast-moving train of the times without possessing the cognition and resources of entrepreneurs or the ambition and grit of the poor. They merely had a decent starting point in life. Initially, this situation did not pose a significant problem. However, during economic recessions and inflation, rising unemployment rates can reduce middle-class incomes or eliminate job opportunities, leading to a decline in living standards or even a fall back into poverty. Why is this happening? Simply put, the middle class does not control production means and lacks sustainable development methods, offering little to their children. Furthermore, all bad habits seem to converge among the middle class, including blindly comparing themselves to others, using world-renowned brands, traveling extensively to experience life, sending their children to the best schools, and dressing them in the finest clothes. This is the most terrifying aspect of the middle-class crisis: their complacency. Do you think such wealth can be maintained? As a class that is neither affluent enough nor struggling, the middle class is in a precarious position, finding it extremely difficult to move upward but easy to slide downward. In the current global economic downturn, the middle class is not only challenged to achieve new heights of success but also faces difficulties in retaining their existing wealth. China's middle class, facing economic challenges, also seeks opportunities abroad. Economic recessions and inflation erode their stability, leading to declining incomes and increased unemployment. This class, which once benefited from China's rapid economic growth, is now struggling to maintain its standard of living. The housing market crash, economic recession as the main factor. The housing market collapse exemplifies the broader economic downturn and its impact on the middle class. For instance, according to a report by Voice of America on June 19, at the beginning of 2023, Frank Zhou planned to sell an apartment in Beijing to meet the minimum investment requirement of $800,000 for U.S. investment immigration and considerable legal and administrative fees. However, since listing the property with an agent in the second half of 2023, he has lowered the price by 20%, yet the property still hasn't sold. It feels like the economic downturn is happening faster than I expected, he told reporters. If I don't leave soon, I might not be able to afford the immigration fees. On June 17, China's National Bureau of Statistics released data on changes in commodity housing sales prices for May 2024 in 70 large and medium-sized cities. In the new housing market, the price index for new homes in these 70 cities fell by 0.7% month-on-month in May, marking the 12th consecutive month of decline. The price index for second-hand homes in these cities fell by 1% month-on-month, marking the 13th consecutive month of decline. The collapse of China's housing market has significantly reduced the assets of middle-class individuals like Mr. Zhou, who once had some wealth. Goldman Sachs even predicts that Chinese house prices still have room to fall by another 40%. Mr. Zhou is a businessman who ventured into the private sector in the 1990s. Engaged in the electronic hardware industry, he benefited from China's accession to the World Trade Organization (WTO) and the booming internet era, earning his first fortune. He later made various investments, including trading stocks and investing in recently popular internet celebrity restaurant chains. However, due to the sluggish Chinese stock market and the downgrade in consumer spending, these investments ended in losses. The current economy is in a comprehensive downturn. The government only lets you see what they want you to see, promoting one thing as hot and another as trendy. It's like the Zibo barbecue that was hyped up, everyone rushed to open stores, but soon no one was eating there, and investors lost money. I'm in business, and to be realistic, it's too difficult to make money in China right now, he candidly told reporters. According to the 2023 New Middle Class White Paper released by the Wu Xiaobo channel, 11.4% of surveyed middle-class families reported that their wealth shrank by more than 30% last year, while 28.9% reported a wealth shrinkage of 10% to 30%. The depreciation of assets has made Mr. Zhou and his friends anxious. They caught the wave of China's rapid economic development and accumulated some wealth, but now fear that the economic recession will quickly return them to their original state. It seems that overnight the direction of the Shenzhen housing market has completely changed. It feels like all the people in Shenzhen are selling their houses. Many homeowners are willing to lose their down payment just to sell their homes. Especially in large communities like Taoyuanju in Bao and Yifang City in Longhua, sometimes more than 30 units are listed in a single day. Currently, there are more than 100,000 second-hand houses listed for sale in Shenzhen, not including foreclosure homes. Nearly 1 in 10 homeowners in Shenzhen is selling their house. So I want to ask, in the current environment in Shenzhen, where are all the buyers coming from? In the past, having multiple houses meant you were wealthy. Now, whoever has more houses is the biggest fool, especially those who bought in Moonbay Garden, where prices once reached nearly 13.7 thousand USD per square meter at the peak. Now they have dropped to 5.5 thousand USD. It's common for a house to lose 4 to 5 million yuan in value. The key issue is that even at 5.5 thousand USD per square meter, these houses are not selling. Take, for example, the Bagling dormitory in Fushan district. The name itself tells you it's a hot property. Most units are 20 to 30 square meter singles, very close to the subway, with educational resources and redevelopment potential. At one time it was very popular, with transaction prices reaching 20.6 thousand USD per square meter. Now the prices have plummeted. Second-hand prices at 5.5 thousand USD per square meter are not attracting any buyers. There are many similar communities. These homeowners are stuck with high prices, unable to sell. Many people choose to stop their mortgage payments and abandon their houses. Monthly, several foreclosure homes are listed in these communities. After becoming foreclosure properties, prices are slashed to 70% or even 56% of the current price. It's practically a half-price sale. So, are these people the biggest fools? Ordinary people might only buy 1 or 2 houses in their lifetime. If they buy the wrong house or pay too much, at best, their family wealth shrinks. At worst, it could ruin them financially. So, I sincerely advise everyone, if you don't need a house, don't buy one just for the sake of appearances. If you need a house for marriage or your child's education, be cautious and buy within your means. Avoid buying at peak prices. The economic downturn of China reminds us of the Made in China 2025 plan. So, what is Made in China 2025? Amid these economic woes, the ambitious Made in China 2025 plan, aimed at transforming China into a global manufacturing superpower, has also faced significant setbacks. Made in China 2025 is China's 10-year development plan aimed not only at making domestic manufacturers dominant within the country, but also at ambitiously positioning China to dominate globally, becoming a manufacturing superpower in the world. In 2015, the Chinese government launched the Made in China 2025 plan, a 10-year strategy aimed at upgrading China's manufacturing capabilities by rapidly developing 10 high-tech sectors. Leading these sectors are electric vehicles, other new energy vehicles, next-generation information and telecommunications technology, robotics, and advanced artificial intelligence. The remaining sectors include agricultural technology, aerospace engineering, new composite materials, advanced electrical equipment, biomedical technology, high-speed rail infrastructure, and high-tech maritime engineering. These sectors are the focus of the fourth industrial revolution, which involves integrating big data, cloud computing, and other emerging technologies into the global manufacturing supply chain. Chinese policymakers have based their strategy on Germany's Industry 4.0 framework. China seeks to reform its economy, shifting from primarily assembling goods for foreign companies to inventing products with technological components. Therefore, the plan proposes prioritizing manufacturing upgrades through technological innovation, smart manufacturing, and services linked to manufacturing. Specifically, China aims to enhance production quality, innovation, and labor productivity by 2025, achieve advanced technology integration, reduce energy and resource consumption, and develop globally competitive enterprises and technology centers. By 2035, the goal is to reach a mid-level global industrial position, make significant breakthroughs in innovation, lead in certain industries, and set global standards. By 2049, China aims to lead in manufacturing and innovation with a competitive position in advanced technology and industrial systems. Strategic analysts have always seen the Made in China 2025 plan as one of the main reasons for the U.S. strategic suppression of China. For the United States and some major industrialized countries, China's plan undermines China's adherence to international trade principles and poses security risks. The U.S. argues that policies based on discrimination against foreign investment, forced technology transfers, intellectual property theft, and cyber espionage are factors that triggered the tariff war imposed by President Donald Trump on Chinese goods and blocked some Chinese-backed acquisitions of technology companies. Meanwhile, many other countries have tightened foreign investment scrutiny and increased responses to counter China's actions. Policymakers and security officials in the U.S. and other developed countries view China's plan to dominate advanced global technology as a national security issue. In the economic sector, many studies suggest that China is distorting the global market by prioritizing political incentives over economic ones. Subsidies under this plan have skewed markets and led to overproduction and dumping of cheap products on the world market, such as the case with solar panels that many countries have accused. Additionally, companies based in the US, Europe, and other continents argue that there is an asymmetry where China freely invests abroad, but investment requirements and limitations restrict foreign companies from selling and operating in China. In conclusion, the middle-class exodus from China, driven by economic downturns and political pressures, highlights the vulnerabilities within China's socio-economic framework. The failure of initiatives like Made in China 2025 underscores the difficulties China faces in achieving its ambitious economic goals amidst global resistance and internal challenges.